You're gonna film me talking and stuff?
Yeah, but we can edit all this out.
Okay. This is the Shanklin A26 automatic L sealer and T7A shrink tunnel. When you hook it up to power, you should be able to turn the power on right here. The machine will go through a routine where the computer will initialize. And it says press reset to start. The reset button's right here. Press it, and in automatic mode, the conveyors will start running. When the machine's ready to run, except for that we need to thread the film. I'll show you that in a minute. When you're not running the machine, you can put it from automatic mode to manual mode and everything turns off. It's still hot. The temperatures are set. The cross seal is this knife, and the side seal is this knife, or they call it the front seal. So the front seal is set at 325. The cross seal is set at around 320. That seems to be the right temperature. If you want to go up or down, you just press these up or down. Okay? The shrink tunnel, turn that power on. You'll notice that the conveyor is not running. You press the start button. If it's still not running, you'll notice now it is running. If the conveyor is not running, or if you want to stop the machine, you press this, it will stop the conveyor. The machine's still blowing. It's still blowing hot air. But the conveyor will only come on if you undo that and hit start. And there's one of these on this side, and there's also one here. The tunnel's the easiest thing, so let's get that out of the way first. It's got variable speed. So if I can turn the speed up, show the conveyor it's running really fast. And I can turn it down to a crawl. Okay? Tunnel temperature is the same as the temperature on the knife. You can turn the temperature up or down until you get a good shrink. There's two more things you can do to get a good shrink on this machine. One of them is, it's got variable air control, how much air is coming from the top. It says pull to open. So if I pull that all the way open, I'll have a lot of air coming from the top and not much air coming from the bottom. If I close it, I'll have more air coming from the bottom. And that seems to work pretty well with this product. And maybe we'll pull it out just a little bit. These control the air flowing out of the sides. And I usually like them about half open. You can close it so there's no air coming out of the side of the tunnel, or you can open it and have tons of air coming out and have it about halfway. And one more thing, if you can see all the way up here, there's a control for the airflow. That says open, that says close. You can actually hear it. When it's open, there's lots of air flowing. I prefer a lot of air and low temperature, compared to some people sometimes run it with less air and they'll turn the heat up. I like more air and lower temp. So that's it with the tunnel. It should be fine. Now I'm going to show you how to thread the film. This is called the film cradle. This is the pinhole perforators that put holes in the film. And this goes up against a brush roller. When you're loading the film, you move that out of the way. Put the roll on where the open side of the film is here, and I'll show you why. So there's a diagram right here on how to thread the film. It's going to always be with your machine, so if you lose this video, you can still do it. But if you follow the diagram, you go through here, you split the film on this little bar here, you go under this red roller and over this other red roller, and then you go straight down. I don't know if you want to show this from down here. Straight down. You're pointing at the bottom. Well,
That's good.
if you go, show from the top, like, don't go around this roller, go straight down and then straight up around this. This bar here is called your dancer bar. When I power this, this turns. So when I lift this bar, this roller turns. But notice it's not pulling any film right now. When I do this, and now I pull, it gives me film very easily. See that? I can pull it very gently, and this is powering the film. These are called the nip rollers. Okay. There is some adjustability to this roller. This roller goes up and down. And we pretty much want this roller on your product, which is not very high, to be halfway between the height of this and this. So if you film from back here, the film should be going in a straight line right here. So you don't want this really high. That would be for really tall products. And really low is very short products. So I'm going to have it up about an inch. Not like that. It's not critical. Okay, so we've threaded the back. Oh, the one thing I forgot. And you'll notice if you're shrink wrapping and you have balloons as packages and they don't shrink nice, some people forget to put that back down on the film. Now when I pull film, look, it's actually, these are turning and it's putting little holes in the film. Because you have to let the air out. Okay, now, the film does not go around this bar. The film goes around this bar only. This is a support bar. So, I've got this table open actually. It's, when you're running it, it's closed like this. But I'm going to open it with this little handle right here. I can open this all the way up, and you can see how to thread the inverting head right here. This is important. This is like key that they're going to need to see. You take one layer of film and you go under this and one over. Okay? And then both of these layers will go through here. And notice, actually you want to show this area here. This area right here is already done. I don't know if you can get under here, Lauren, to show, but there's a film support bar right here. And I'm going to take this layer of film and go like that. Okay? This layer of film has to go under here. And I don't know if you want to come where I am to show this. This might be a little tricky. But when we close the table here, that layer of film, let me put my hands in there while you're filming. This layer of film needs to stay under the conveyor like that. Okay? Now, show them this handle here. This handle here we use to get the product the right width. So if I put this product here, I pull it until it's about like that. A little space, and then I tighten this little handle up right here. That's tight. And then I've got my film already threaded under here from before. You might want to show that again. This layer is above this bar here, and these two layers of film go into these little rollers right here. You might hear us use the term film miser rollers. These rollers help guide the film into this part, which I don't know if you want to film from there, but these are the belts that are going to be pulling the film through the system. So that's the key, is threading the inverting head, which I just did. Should I do this again? Okay. Now, with the hood open, I probably can hit the film advance button. I can't watch. And watch what it does. These are hot, so be careful. The blades are hot. But I should be able to advance film. And as long as I've threaded it right, these two layers here should be even and flow nicely through the machine. If they don't, if for some reason one layer is not as good as the other, you can kind of restart it and give it another push and see if they look good, which they do. Again, you can show me I'm pulling here. Okay. Now, this is a scrap wind-up system. So when I turn this on, that's always running. And there's a speed control on it for fast, slow or fast. And there's also a little arm here that spreads the scrap out. I can turn it off here. I can also, if I don't want to bend over, if I don't want to just turn it off here, I can also turn it off right there. By the way, this is a very important button here. It's called seal heat. If you're not hot, always make sure that's on. If that's off, these will turn off and it'll cool down. So you want this on. Okay. So, I don't know if you want to show this. I'm going to run this through here. I'm going to get a little bit more film. I'm going to run it through here. And then it's really simple. There's this little, I don't know if you can show this. You just catch it right there. It says salvage catch. And when I turn this on, it's holding it tight. And as I run it, if I advance film and then I seal with two hands, by the way, manual seal, you can't hurt yourself. You have to use two fingers. So if I press with two fingers, notice the jaw came down. I pull this little piece out, I can film advance again, and I can pull out the piece of film. And you'll notice if you want to film the strap winding up, I'm going to pretend that I'm a package right now, and every time it runs, it winds up some scrap. Okay? So, now, we're going to see how this package runs. I'm just going to put it on the conveyor and see if it makes it through the tunnel. And there it is, a shrink wrap package. Now I know this is a little hole there. We might be running a little bit too hot or too slow. So I'm actually going to cool this down a little bit to about 330 and maybe go a little faster. And then what I'd like to do, Stevie, can we get your help? You're going to have to go catch at the other end. Alright, so what I'm going to do, they're going to start coming at you pretty fast, Stevie. Go to the end of the tunnel and catch the packages. All you have to do is just put these on the conveyor. I don't know if you want to film down there. Let's go help him out. Get him, this is the...
Oh, okay. That's how you do it.
So anyway, now you probably should look at the buttons on the machine and show what they do. By the way, the last few packages that are still sitting on there, the machine stopped. I can manually seal, I have to hit reset, manually seal, turn this back on, and then they all should start going through. Okay, so let's start doing some troubleshooting. Ready? The machine worked fine. But let's look at some of the numbers. So when we want to turn the machine off, I go to manual mode.
Stop.